Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Foreign Correspondent Club of Japan. My name is Karine Nishimura. I'm French. I'm a correspondent with Radio France and Libération newspaper. Today, we have two guests to talk about very important topics, deepfakes, and how Japan can take a countermeasure to avoid some risk. So since years now, every day, AI, artificial intelligence, seems to be everywhere. You cannot open a newspaper without a lot of title mentioning AI. Even a basic computer task is now called AI. AI is a very efficient tool for growing numbers of area, and everybody is using or will use AI. But it can also be a very dangerous tool. As generative AI becomes more widespread, Japan is confronting new risks, but not Japan only, but Japan as other country in the world. From the spread of misinformation to the rise of deepfake contents, particularly sexually explicit material targeting women and children. Japan recently made its first arrest for the sale of AI-generated pornography and passed a new law on May 28 to promote AI development while addressing this danger. So our two guests today will speak about what they can do, technically speaking, and with the society to avoid risk, to target risk. The first speaker is Mr. Dai Yamamoto, working with Fujitsu. He will speak about a NEDO-K project, which is developing technologies to counter AI misuse and misinformation. And the second speaker is Mr. Kotaro Nakayama, NABLAS CEO, and he will also discuss how society must adapt to generative AI through public education, legal reform, and technological safeguards. So the speech will be in English, and after both speech, we will have a question-answer session, both in English and Japanese. Mr. Yamamoto, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Dai Yamamoto from Fujitsu. I'm here today to talk about technology to combat disinformation and bring trust to the internet. Thank you to the FCCJ for inviting me to participate in this session. So first, my brief profile. My specialty is information security, including anti-disinformation. My research experience includes anti-counterfeiting semiconductor chips, this is also anti-fake, and moved to upper layer of research topics like network security, data trust, and disinformation. So in recent years, with the spread of generative AI and social media, disinformation has become a major social problem across various fields, such as natural disasters, political topics of our prime minister, our president, and even economic impact. It's becoming increasingly difficult to spot fake information without the aid of IT technologies. So in this slightly different example, after the bombing of a maternity hospital in Mariupol, Ukraine, images of pregnant women evacuating were posted on social media. Pro-Russian groups claim these are fake. However, the BBC fact-checked the information and reported it as accurate, based on evidence like the hospital being operational and the woman's presence in Mariupol confirmed through Instagram. As you can see, inferring the truth from various pieces of surrounding information is our basic approach. We are researching and developing technology to automate this process. So in 2024, Fujitsu was awarded to the position of prime operator of the K program to develop the anti-disinformation technologies. K program is the Japanese national project for research and development. Countering disinformation involves a wide range of challenges, including detection, correction, analysis, and impact assessment. That's why we are collaborating with 8 leading experts in this field, creating an all-Japan team to advance this research and development. Fujitsu will integrate these individual technologies to build this information countermeasure platform that can comprehensively determine the authenticity and evaluate the impact based on the analysis results and evidence from each element. We aim for this platform to be a foundation for future social implementation. To tackle information, we are taking an approach that links third-party trustable information and evaluation to suspicious online information in order to analyze its authenticity. As shown in this slide, let's consider how to determine the accuracy of a social media posting stating a flood is occurring. Online information consists of various media such as text, images, and videos, so we analyze its individual media. For example, analyzing whether the image was created by a generative AI or what is shown in the image becomes evidence to determine accuracy. Third-party information, such as information from IoT cameras or water level sensors or evacuation instructions issued by national and local governments, also serve as evidence. Furthermore, third-party evaluation, such as the replies and comments from the local government officials on the post, also become evidence. Even if it's difficult to determine the accuracy on the target information with only one piece of information, our approach analyzes the accuracy by combining these multiple pieces of evidence to analyze consistency and contradictions. On this slide and the next, I will explain the four main technologies we are researching and developing in the K program. First, we have deepfake detection technology in order to, in addition to determining whether media was created by generative AI, we are developing technology that can estimate which parts are suspicious, which generative AI model was used, and output these with a degree of certainty as evidence. Second, as preparation of accuracy determination, we have technology to collect potential evidence from online sources. We are also designing and developing a foundation to certainly manage the various collected evidence in the graph structure. Let's go back to the natural disaster example. We would collect information from the water level sensors that can river water level is low, that evacuation instructions have not been issued by the local government, and that there are no eyewitness reports of flooding from other posters. We then structure this information into a graph. An absence of contradictions between the post and these evidence would suggest that the post is accurate. However, in this case, we can see that there are contradictions between the claim of flooding and these pieces of evidence. The third technology is for comprehensive authenticity judgment and uses large language model to analyze the evidence for accuracy and explain the evidence to the user in natural language along with the accuracy judgment. As more information comes in, the size of the evidence graph expands and the dependency between information becomes more complex, making manual analysis difficult. Therefore, we will establish technology for comprehensive authenticity judgment that uses AI, including LLMs, to analyze complex evidence graph, provide an accuracy judgment. The technology uses a Japanese LLM specialized for anti-disinformation developed in this project. We don't just use the LLM to determine the accuracy. We analyze the evidence graph. This allows us to present users with not only the determination of accuracy result, but also the relationship between multiple pieces of evidence that serve as a reason for determination. This is a major advantage of our approach. The fourth technology is impact assessment technology. Evaluating the social impact of the spread on social media is important for considering countermeasure. we are building an AI model based on various feature values from past cases where authenticity has been confirmed by fact-checking organizations. So this AI model can assess the impact such as scale and speed of posts expanding on social media that we have determined to be disinformation. So here is a demonstration. So we apply our technology to this online information. So now the processing running, and in the left part we analyze the contents of the target information such as text and images. For example, the integrity check between text and image, which means analyzing what is the content in the image and checking whether the content matches the text. The integrity check was judged to be fine. Also, we performed the deepfake analysis. This analysis module found that this image appeared to be altered and maybe a deepfake. In addition, the right part shows that the analysis result using various information collected from the internet. The analysis shows that a similar image appeared in 2022, which is 2 years before on the post, and that the image was about a meeting with the Brazilian minister, not Japanese prime minister. As you can see through this demonstration, our technology was able to find various important evidence that the posted information might be false. We are particularly interested in creating use cases in society for this technology. We will be promoting use and demonstration in public institutions and private companies. In particular, private companies such as news media like you conducted manual fact checks before creating articles, and we expected that the use of this system will reduce the burden and time required, and that there will be a potential demand. So our goal is to build a first version of this platform by financial year 2025. And also we plan to conduct trial and demonstration experiments from the second quarter of 2025. That's a conclusion of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks very much. So Mr. Nakayama will also follow in English for about a 10-minute speech. Mr. Nakayama, the floor is yours.
Hello, can you hear me well? Okay. Okay, then let's get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Kotaro Nakayama. I'm the representative director of a private company called NABLAS Inc. Today, I'm going to talk about deepfake detection technologies in the era of generative AI. So first, let me introduce our company a little bit. We are one of the typical spin-out AI companies from the University of Tokyo. Research and development is one of our main focuses. Let me briefly introduce myself as well. So I worked at the University of Tokyo for the past 12 years as a researcher and assistant professor. And during that time, I was involved in a number of joint research projects with industry-leading companies. I'm now running this company based on those experiences. And Keigan AI is one of the most important products in our company. This is a deepfake detection system. We have been working on this project for over 3 years. And the system has already been used by a certain number of clients, including private companies and organizations in public sector. Based on our experience on developing deepfake detection system, today I will talk about deepfake technologies and counter technologies in general. I will try to focus on general topics rather than introducing our product. So what you see here is the agenda of today's presentation. So let me start with background of this topic. So as you know, due to the rapid evolution of generative AI technologies, we can now easily generate realistic media in various formats, including images, audio, videos, and even text. These technologies offer not only synthetic generation capabilities, but also partial modification functionalities with very natural results, as if it was like that from the beginning. From a perspective of a researcher, StyleGAN 3 introduced by NVIDIA was a breakthrough. The quality was not accurate, acceptable at that moment. However, after this research, many of the implementation followed this approach, and the progressive generation has become possible. And now it is quite difficult to judge whether it's fake or real. Generative AI has surely introduced a new way to replace older technologies in many areas, bringing sufficient social impact and benefit. On the other hand, it has also revealed the dark side of the technology. Deepfake is one of them, and a typical example. As a company, we are facing that big threat of AI crime, just like you see here. So we need to take actions as a society. And I personally believe that there are 3 things that we need to take action as a society. And the first one is systems and law. We need to make and changing and optimizing our current social systems, including laws. And we need to protect rights of people. That is first type of actions that we need to take. And the second category of action is education. We need to know what the AI system can do and what the limitations accurately. And we need to be afraid of technologies properly for the technologies that we need to be afraid of. But on the other hand, we also need to use the technologies effectively for the technologies that we need to use. That kind of balance is quite important. But to do that, education is very important. The third category of actions that we need to take is developing technologies. This is the main topic of today, but yeah, fake detection systems for image, text, audio, and video, that kind of deepfake detection systems is one of them. And other things like content authenticity and content management systems also required. So we need to develop many technologies on that. But today, let me focus on deepfake detection technology. And then let me explain briefly about deepfake detection system. So in the market, we already have a number of deepfake detection services like here, including ours. So you can use these services for checking the media that you are facing. And let me explain how do they detect their media are fake or real. The important keyword is this, artifacts. So what artifacts? Artifacts are characteristic parts of AI-generated content that can be used as a clue to judge whether it's fake or real. And there are many artifacts in general images. For instance, if we see the detail of the image, we can see small errors, and yeah, that can be a clue to judge whether it's fake or real. And there are many things like that. Yeah, for instance, crosses patterns and strange structures of buildings. And if we focus on fake images, there are also interesting artifacts, like here. We can focus on cheeks and the forehead, or eyes and the eyebrows, and the glasses. If it's too gray, then yeah, it's important clue of fake. And resolution gaps between the face area and the surrounding area. That kind of information can be used to judge whether it's fake or real. And let me explain how deepfake detection systems are judging internally. So in general, deepfake systems try to find artifacts internally, and the number of artifacts are not like 10 or 20. It is internally trying to pick up a lot of artifacts, like 10,000 of the artifacts automatically, and then the system try to combine this artifact information to judge whether it's fake or real. And let me explain about the latest technology and the future technologies as well. So what you see here is a visualization and the explainability of the deepfake detection system. So usually, deepfake detection systems provide this kind of visualization to show where the AI systems are paying attention to judge whether it's fake or real. So our system also provides this kind of information, and it is helpful information for the human to judge. And recently, content authenticity technology and standards are also used and playing important role in this context. So such as C2PA is technology and standard for tracking creation and modification history of media. So it tracks who originally created the media and who modified and how modified and when modified that. So that kind of information is also very important to judge whether it's fake or real. And what about future plan? Hybrid approach can be considered for making the judgment more accurately. So hybrid approach means we can combine different types of technologies like content authenticity and deepfake detection. And there are many other important issues that we need to do in the future, like supporting unknown models and the continuous training of AI model for detection and multimodal technologies, and the evolution of fact-check technologies as well. Okay, let me summarize the presentation. So today, I talked various things, and the important thing is that we need to keep changing and keep optimizing our society and the technologies. So the technologies evolution cannot be stopped, but we need to keep trying to change ourselves and taking some actions. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yamamoto and Nakayama. And so we will open the question and answer session. Please, if you have any question, come to one of the two mics and give your name, affiliation, and if possible, a short question and one question at a time. And we will also have online questions. So to take a maximum of a question, I will ask our two guests to have a short answer also. So if you have any question, yes, please.
Thank you. My name is Richard Susilo from Indonesia Tribune News. To Mr. Nakayama, first question. your works included Asia Trend Map. What is Asia Trend Map, and what is the relation with this one, Asia Trend Map, and the Deepfake system? Thank you.
インドネシアトリビューンのリチャードと申します。中山様に最初の質問ですが、先ほどエイジャトランマップについて言及されたかと思いますが、それとディープフェイクとの間の関係について教えていただけますでしょうか。Asia Trend Map, did you say, sir? こちらだそうです。
Okay. This is my achievement and brief introduction. So the short answer is no relation.
Okay.
短い、これはあくまでも私の略歴、実績ですので、短いお答えとしては関係ないです。関係ございません。
It's a search engine for Japanese culture-related topics like anime and games. Yeah, I have been working on this project for quite a long time ago, and now I'm working on different project.
So it's culture, not map. Correct.
Please.
Thank you for taking my question. Kaorina with NHK. I'll translate it myself, if that's okay. I'll ask. I'll do both.
Yes, thank you.
To Yamamoto-san, I think what is the K&K project? And you talked about the Japanese LLM. Is that Fujitsu in-house, or is that OpenAI, for instance? And you talked about 2025 fiscal year. I wasn't sure what you meant by that. What's happening within this fiscal year? K プロジェクトの K は何ですか？あと日本語の LLM っていうのはこれは富士通のものですか？それとも OpenAI とかのものですか？それと2025年度中にっていうのは具体的に何の実用化をさせていらっしゃいますかと。And just one quick question to Nakayama-san. NHK is also part of C2PA, and you talked about the hybrid approach. And I was wondering what specifically you had in mind, and also NABLAS との関係、what NABLAS is doing. NHK も C2PA のメンバーなんですけれども、ハイブリッドアプローチ非常に面白いと思ったんですが、具体的にどんなことが念頭にあって、それで中山さんとしてはどんなことを具体的にやっていらっしゃるんでしょうか。
まず K プログラムの K は何ですかというご質問に対しては、経産省の国プロでして、何のKey and Advanced Technology around Research and Development through Cross Community Collaboration Program.
The K in the K program stands for K Sansho, Ministry of Economy, METI, and it's a key and advanced technology R&D development through cross community
collaboration program の略です。2つ目のご質問は
オープン AI か御社かっていう。
LLM は富士通当社の高値という日本語 LLM 日本語特化の LLM を使って開発をしております。
The LLM I mentioned is our in-house called in-house LLM called Takane, using various Japanese LLMs based on various Japanese large language models.
3つ目のご質問は2025年の
And the next question was, what do you mean? What commercialization are you planning in 2025 fiscal year?
2025年度中に、今ご説明プレゼンでさせていただいた4つの技術を中心にまず技術を作り、でそれらを統合した偽情報対策プラットフォームのファーストバージョンを構築するというのが2025年度の目標になります。
The plan for fiscal year 2025 is to establish a platform addressing or countering disinformation by integrating the four technologies that I mentioned. The four technologies need to set up, launched by them as well. Is it available for use by the public?
いえ、今年度中はまず組織ユーザーという先ほど申し上げた官公庁並びに民間プライベートカンパニーを中心に組織のユーザーを対象に実証実験を進めていくということを考えています。
The plan is to carry out pilot projects during this fiscal year geared towards organizations such as government agencies and private organizations. Therefore, corporate and government users come first.
Okay, then let me answer to your question. There are two questions, and the first question is about relationship between us and C2PA. And the short answer is that we are also a member of C2PA. So yeah, we are also working on this project. And the second, the hybrid approach, what does it mean? So let me explain about that. There are many ways to combine these two different types of technologies and standards. And one of them is to use them for double checking. Okay? So if the C2PA standard is a magical approach and that is only things that we need for checking whether it's real or fake, it's no problem. But of course, C2PA is not a perfect approach. So we can use both of them to double checking. So for instance, we can use deepfake detection system to check whether it's surely not modified or not, something like that. So I hope you can imagine about combination of their technologies.
Any other question in the room? Yes, please.
John Boyd, freelance. A very simple question. Given the improvements we've seen with AI almost every month or so, with one AI company leapfrogging another company, isn't there going to be a point where you cannot detect defects on other points? Isn't the AI going to become so good that it will defeat your current ways of detecting fakes?
フリーランスのジョン・ボイドと申します。AI の進展が毎月見られる中、一 AI 企業が別の AI 企業をすぐ飛び越えてしまうという実情の中、ディープフェイクが検知できなくなる状況になり得ることはありますでしょうか。つまり、現在のその検知技術を AI が任してしまう、しのぐという状況はありえますでしょうか。
ですね。ディープフェイク検知というのはすごく重要な技術です。ただ我々のアプローチとしてはそれだけではなくてそれ以外の今説明したさまざまな周辺情報というところも加味して真偽その根拠を探していくっていうアプローチを今後重要だというふうに考えて取り組んでいます。
Deepfake technology is crucial technology, but as we see it, there are other focus areas, peripheral information that need to be taken into account, and to serve as a basis for detecting what is true from the authentic from the false.
じゃあちょっと私も。
Mr. それ以外のというのはどういう技術かご説明いただけますでしょうか。
今プレゼンテーションさせていただその私4つの技術を説明したんですけれども、2つ目にその周辺情報をインターネット上から集めてそれを根拠情報として真偽を判定する、そういう技術っていうところも重要だというふうに考えています。周辺技術を集めて
それを根拠として真偽を認める。By other technologies, I mean the 4 technologies that were part of my presentation, particularly the second one, which is about gathering peripheral information as the basis for verifying what is authentic from the false.
じゃあ私も。
If I may add to that,
So,
Mr. Nakayama,
thank you
please.
very much for your question, and it was quite sharp point, I believe. And I'm thinking that, as you already noticed, it has become a battle of AI systems, detection AI and generative AI, in other words, deepfake AI. So, of course, even for now, deepfake detection systems are not perfect. So there are many cases that it cannot detect generative AI. So in the future, it's quite difficult to estimate, but that kind of situation will be happening. And however, important thing is that keep improving our technologies. So if there is no detection system, then we cannot judge the information we are facing is real or fake. So it's kind of endless battle between deepfake and detection systems. But I think it's important to keep improving.
I will take 2 online questions before giving you a new opportunity. The first question is coming from Kathleen Benoza from Reuters. She is asking both, I think. Are you actively collaborating with organizations that support victims of deepfakes to ensure your technical solutions and policy recommendations address the real-world harms being experienced?
ロイターズのキャスリン・ベノザさんからのご質問でお二方にお願いしたいと思いますが、実世界実体験されているその危害に対応すべく御社のその技術ソリューションまた政策提言を確実にするためにディープフェイクのその被害者をサポートしている組織団体と積極的に共同連携されていますか。
現時点でそういった組織と何かコラボレートしているという状況はございません。
At the present, our company does not have any collaborative efforts with any organization of that kind.
ただプレゼンテーションでも申し上げた通り、この技術我々技術を研究開発するだけで社会実装を見据えて取り組んでますので、さまざまなユーザー組織とのトライアルとか実証っていうところを単に技術の研究開発からさらに一歩進んだところを目指して考えていきたいというふうに思っています。
However, as addressed during the presentation, our goal is to implement, to achieve social implementation of our technologies in which context we hope to work with user organizations in the technology trials and demonstrative projects so that we go beyond the technologies ahead.
Okay, then let me answer as well. So for now, we also have not been working with some organization of the victims, but we are providing our systems for victims directly, victim company and some clients. That is one thing I can share. And in the future, we want to collaborate with more such organizations, and I'm hoping that this kind of opportunity can be a starting point for that. So if you have some information about organizations, then please let me know.
Okay. Hey. So another question coming online from Keiko Kurane from UCA News. She is asking to Mr. Kotaro Nakayama, do you think there is also a need for moral education, not just digital literacy, especially for younger generations growing up in a world shaped by AI?
UCA ニュースの倉根恵子さんから中山様へのご質問になりますが、AI によって形作られるその世界で育つ若手世代を特に踏まえて伺いますが、デジタルリテラシーのみならず道徳教育の必要性があるとお考えでしょうか。
Thank you very much for your question, and it is very important question. So as I wrote in here, we need to provide sufficient education for various ages, including young ages and older ages. And it's important to provide literacy education, but more importantly, moral education is quite important. So how to use technology properly, and what's the good part and what's the bad part. So it is very important to teach that kind of things for young age. Thank you.
Yes?
Sorry, one more question. I don't know which one, Nakayama-san or Yamamoto-san. Japan is a certification country. So I wonder maybe inside Japan, there is an association, Deepfake and AI association. Why I'm asking you this one? Because through this association, we could make a certification. So someone would like to become a specialist of this Deepfake and AI, maybe could enter this examination by the association, and if pass the examination, he or she could become as a specialist of Deepfake and AI. I don't know. How about the association? Thank you.
もう一問お願いいたします。中山様ないし山本様どちらかにお答えいただければと思いますけれども、日本は認証認定が好まれる社会という認識のもと伺いますが、例えばディープフェイクあるいは AI に関連する何らかの認定団体が作られ、その専門家 AI ディープフェイクの専門家になりたい人がその団体の実施するその試験を受けてディープフェイク AI についての資格を得るというような資格社会ですので、それはいかがでしょうか。可能あるいはどうお考えでしょうか。
Okay, then let me answer first. So in my understanding, there is already a certificate for generative AI-related technologies in Japan, and people who are interested in generative AI technologies, they can take that certificate. And but in my understanding, there is no certificate specialized for deepfake, and I personally hope that in the future as well, there is no such certificate, but I'm not good at estimate the future. So maybe there is a possibility, but deepfake is technology that will provide bad influence for our society. We hope that there is no such certificate in the future, but more importantly, generative. But on the other hand, generative AIs is replacing a lot of old technologies in good ways. So as a researcher, I'm hoping that generative AI technologies will be used more and more in various ways. That's what I'm thinking.
Any other question?
そうですね、今、ディープフェイクは日々技術進歩発展していますけれども、例えばディープフェイクファクトチェックの一つだと考えて そういったファクトチェッカーの要請とかそういった観点で、サーティフィケットそういったところっていうのは、今後将来的にはもしかしたらあるかもしれないっていう、ところだけ補足させていただきます。
If I may add to that, I do believe it's conceivable that in the future there may be a certificate for fact checkers. In other words, developing a talent who can check facts against deepfake, as deepfake technology, of course, is advancing on a daily basis.
No question? I have one question. What do you think the role of the media is important in the education of people, and do you think that this role is now accomplished? 日本語でも聞きますが、マスコミの役割が大きいと思ってますか？例えば、教育とか、あるいは一般人がAI の仕組みとか分かるように、どういった役割を果たすべきか、今のところそういう役割をちゃんと果たしているかと思っているのでしょうか？それともポジティブな面が強調されて、リスクは少しだけ、取り上げられてもやはり物足りないという状況であるのでしょうか？
そうですね。はい。ニュースメディアの皆さんの役割というのは私は大きいと思っています。もちろん先ほど説明したように、我々のこの技術の大きなユーザーの一つであるというふうに思っています。で集めてくる根拠の情報っていうのは皆様の記事っていうところも一つ大きな根拠の一つですので、そういったところの観点からも、非常に重要だというふうに思っています。
I believe the news media has an important or large role to play in this context. I also believe that the media is one of the major user groups of our technology, and news coverage serves as a basis as well. It is a basic information. In that sense, too, the media has an important role to play.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. And I also agree with his opinion that mass media is going to take a very important role for education, for counter deepfake and generative AI error. And the important thing is that public school and the private companies also provide education programs for many people, but the keyword is speed. So it takes time to make proper education programs. It takes a lot of time, but mass media can provide information very quickly. So I'm thinking that it's important to provide proper information quickly for the society. For that, mass media is going to take a very important role. That's my understanding.
We still have about 10 minutes. If you have any question, can be about technologies, about society. Yes, please.
ガンマ通信の角ですね。Can I ask in Japanese? So,ディープフェイク、ディープフェイクに限らずフェイクっていうのは結局 100% フェイクだったらフェイクかもしれないですけど、その AI で測った時にフェイクの度合いっていうのは出るじゃないですか。30% ぐらいフェイクの可能性があるとか、そういうのはもちろんそのクライアントに上げる時にはそういう状態で上げるのかもしれないんですけど、A 社と B 社で、90% と 10% ってことはないかもしれないけど、そういう可能性もありますよね。そういうフェイクの度合いをどこの段階でフェイクというふうに 定義づけ、定義づけるっていう言い方は間違ってるかもしれないけど、判断するように、それはもうお客さんのサイドで決めてくれやっていうふうに考えてらっしゃるのかどうか。
I want to ask you about the degree of fakeness. Deepfake, not just deepfake, but if it's 100% fake overall, if it's 100% fake, it's truly fake. But when measuring fakeness with the AI, I believe there is a degree of fakeness, let's say 30%. You may provide that as is to the client. But let's say there are two companies, A and B. One is 90% fake, the other one 10%. Maybe that's not too possible, but it could be. So how do you define fake? Maybe define is not the right word, but how do you where do you draw the line? And do you just provide it as it is to the client?
ありがとうございます。非常に良いご質問だというふうに思っています。ごめんなさい。非常に良いご質問だと思っています。ちょっとディープフェイクに限らず全体のことでお話ししますけれども、ディープフェイクも一つの根拠で、集めてきた根拠っていうところも支持する根拠もあれば、その元の情報を否定するさまざまな根拠っていうのが出てくる可能性はあります。そうなった時に何を信じるかっていうところユーザーによるところではあるんですけども、一つはそれを提示してユーザーに判断を任せる。でさらにはLLM も使ってそこのところでどういうふうな判断するユーザーの判断を支援するようなそういう形の説明性根拠とともに説明で判断を促すようなそういったシステムっていうふうに我々は開発していきたいというふうに考えています。
Thank you for that very good question. Looking at the overall picture, not just limiting the answer to deepfake, there are various bases for giving instructions, basis for supporting, and basis for denying. There are various bases that are possible. So what to believe could be left to the client, or another way is to provide support to the client in making that judgment by using a large language models. So providing not just the basis, but explanatory material as well. And that is what we would like to develop as a system.
No question? So I have.
I also want to answer. So thank you very much for your question. It is a very important question. So I'm thinking it's about the stance of using AI technologies, not only deepfake detection system, but in general, we need to take responsibility for the judgment. The human needs to take the responsibility for the judgment. And I'm having similar stance for his opinion. And what we want to do is to provide useful information for judging humans judge. That is what we need to do. So nowadays AI systems can do many things, but the things that AI systems cannot do is to taking responsibility. So that's what human needs to do.
If no question, I have one. 昨日日経新聞の読んだら結構ショックを受けた記事がありまして、それは歴史研究で写真の、資料写真を AI でカラー化、加工してそれでみんなに分かりやすくすることで、学びやすい。つまりカラー化された写真あるいは、加工された写真はどこまで加工してフェイクにならないかっていう問題があるんじゃないかと思って、若者が分かるように加工してもいいとかカラー化してもいいとか、あるいは写真から動画を作ってもいいとかっていう仕組みになるとリスクがあるんじゃないかと思って、 もう個人的にああいう仕組みに反対してるんですけれども、専門家としてはどう思っていますか？危険性のある仕組みなのか、記事を後で読んでほしいということですが、ただ教育現場で加工してもいい、分かりやすくなれば加工してもいいということになったら、どれぐらいリスキーであるか。
I read an article in the Nikkei yesterday which shocked me. Apparently, historical records, archive records can be processed or be subject to color addition to make it more, to give it more clarity or to make it easier to learn using those materials. So the question is, to what extent can the photos like that, historical records like that, be processed and not become a fake? And I believe there's a risk in the process of adding colors, processing old records like that, or turning photographs into videos just for the sake of enhancing clarity. Personally, I'm against it, but what is your view as an expert? Would you say that there is more risk in processing records like that in an educational, in education, to give it more clarity?
Yeah, I may add some information in English because the article was in Japanese, but it's about a research center who is proposing to the people to some documents, but to make the document easier to understand for young people, they change the photograph into color, monochrome photograph into color, or also try to make some video from these photographs. This is, for me, it's a dangerous process, but I would ask I would like the specialist to ask this question. To answer this question.
ありがとうございます。技術者からするとちょっと答えするのが難しい質問だなというふうに思っていまして、個人的にはまず最低限それが加工されていると、カラー化されているという表記は必要かなというふうに思います。その上でそれがいいか悪いかっていうところに関してはやはりそうですね、議論が必要なところかなというふうに、感じています。
Thank you for that question. As an engineer, that's a tough question to crack. Personally, I believe there should be at the minimum some indication that the record had been processed or had been turned into color at the minimum. And beyond that, whether it's good or bad is subject to discussion.
中山さん、何か
私も同じ。
Same views.
なんか倫理の言葉が出なかったんですけれども、倫理。
No mention of ethics today? 倫理の単語は出なかったんですけれども、重要ななんか、テーマではないかと思いますけど、なぜ今回は倫理っていう言葉が出なかったんですか？ I believe ethics is an important topic, but it was not mentioned so far today. Why not?
ありがとうございます。AI 倫理並びに AI セキュリティというのは富士通では重要な観点で取り組んでいますので、そういった観点からも AI のポジティブな面とそういったリスクというところは考慮して、研究開発に取り組んでいきたいなというふうに思っています。
At Fujitsu, we believe we take AI ethics and security very seriously, and we endeavor to continue with our R&D efforts by looking at both the positive aspect and the risks inherent in that technology.
中山さん。
Yeah. Thank you very much for the question. And I think it relates to the earlier question about education. And I'm believing that it's very important to provide education, not only literacy education, but ethic and moral education as well. So but on the other hand, I'm technology side. So I focused on technology side today. That's the reason why I didn't mention about that so much.
ありがとうございました。 もう時間になりまして、もし質問がなければこれで終わらせていただきます。よろしいでしょうか。はい。どうもありがとうございました。忘れてるんですけど、generally when we ask a speaker to come, we give a one-year membership. So, Mr. Yamamoto, you can come when you want and go to the bar and meet a journalist here when you want. Yeah.